welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how you must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Welcome back, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
A native of Woodhaven, Michigan, Patrick Biondi played his college baseball at the University of Michigan, where he was named All-Big Ten second team in both 2011 and 2012. As a senior in 2013, Biondi won the Big Ten Sportsmanship Award. Coming to the Cape in 2011 to play outfield for the Cotuit Kettleers, Biondi struggled at the plate but did impress with 12 stolen bases. The following summer, however, there was no struggle, as Biondi flirted with a .400 batting average before finishing the season with a league-leading .388 mark and was named Cotuit's most valuable player. Biondi earned a starting spot on the West Division All-Star team and was named Coca-Cola's Player of the Week in the season's fourth week. Playing in 41 of Cotuit's 44 games, Biondi concluded the season with a .478 on-base percentage, 37 runs scored, 6 doubles, 19 runs batted in, and 14 stolen bases to help his team to a 30-win season and maintain the top spot in the league's West Division. Biondi was drafted by the New York Mets in the 9th round of the 2013 Major League Draft and went on to play more than 550 games over 6 minor league seasons, making it as high as AAA before ending his professional career in 2019. Congratulations to Patrick Biondi, Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame Class of 2022.
What a thrill and honor to be here today. And I've been involved in the Cape League since the 70s, sending players here and starting in 84 as a coach. So this is the first time I've had this honor. So Patrick, you and your parents, thanks for giving me the opportunity. I do want to say congrats to these other young men, including Steve Wilson as a young man, sitting here in the front row. And very quickly, in regards to Marcus Stroman had the best curveball I've ever seen in the Cape League, with no doubt. I can see him pitching in Orleans and striking out many Catuit Kettleers. Billy Wagner had the best fastball that I've ever seen in the Cape League. Ian Happ and Justin Smoke, there's no doubt in my mind, the two best switch hitters to ever play in the Cape League. Both of you, incredible. Steve Wilson, without a doubt, the best CPA and money manager the Cape League's ever known, and a high school coach that has tremendous respect. So I just want to say congrats to all of you, and for Peter being here for Billy this morning. You can read, and you saw Patrick on the screen. For me, I just want to say a couple words about the person. You've seen the stats, and for me, Patrick Biondi was the epitome of a smaller player who comes to Catuit. I love base running. I saw him with dirt on his uniform. Even Smoke got dirt on his uniform a few times, sliding head first in Catuit. But Pat came to work on his game, and that's what we're here as coaches with Steve and Kelly and the other coaches that are here. We're here to give the players an opportunity, and that's our job, is to open the door. This league is for the players. And Patrick came in with a phenomenal attitude, what I call an attitude of gratitude, to be here, very humble, and he loved to practice, and I love to practice. I'm a real believer practice are for the coaches to help the young men, and the games are for the guys to have a blast. And he loved, I can see him diving in center field today during batting practice where he got his work in, his base running during batting practice, his bunting, and you saw him in a bunting profile up here. And what Patrick knew he had to do, he had to become a polished player. You know, he didn't have the size of some of these guys, and he knew that he had to polish his skills. And I loved working with him because of that. He played on an 11 team with 10 future big leaguers. He played on a 12 team with 8 future big leaguers. So he was around a lot of very good players. I'll close with just saying his leadership ability was off the charts. And I will always appreciate your humility and your leadership ability as you came to the ballpark through the fence every day with a smile on your face and ready to go to work. He used to call me in pro baseball or send me videos in the wintertime when he was hitting in the cage in Michigan and say, "Coach, you know, can you look at these for me?" And he was always trying again. He knew that God didn't bless him with the most ability, but he controlled the things he can control, and that was his work habits. His perseverance was incredible. And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to work with a caring young man. And I kind of spelled out CAPE, C-A-P-E. He's a caring young man with a great A attitude, tremendous perseverance, and wonderful energy on the field. And I just want to say it's my pleasure to honor and present Patrick Biondi for induction into the Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame.
Well, first of all, thank you to the Cape Cod Baseball League, and congratulations to our other guys. Getting inducted with Justin, Steve, Marcus, Ian, and Billy is a pretty big honor. So to be a part of this group means a lot to me. My time here meant a lot to me, and I just want to thank the Cape, first of all. Second, to me, being in the Cape, a lot of it was just about the people. So from the coaches to the community to the host family, Stephen and Anne-Marie. I had 2 host families out here. They were both awesome. Stephen and Anne-Marie are here today. I think that part of it makes it easy for us to come to the field and have a good attitude and to want to be around, because there's so many great people that make this league what it is. And so to be a part of that was an awesome experience, and one that I'll definitely remember forever. Coach Roberts, you know, you're a smaller guy. I think we saw eye to eye, metaphorically and literally. But, you know, obviously, like you mentioned, I was always the smallest guy on the field. And I think right away we kind of hit it off. Obviously, you have a little bit of a polarizing personality, and it's not for everybody. But I really always respected your intensity and how much you cared. And I just wanted to let you know that, especially that second year, our team really recognized how much you cared and how much time and effort you put in, and we really appreciated that. So thanks for being here today. Thanks for talking. Yesterday, John, I think you put it kind of politely. You said that I struggled a little bit the first year. I think I probably have the lowest average. I don't know the stats. Have to have the lowest season average of anybody in the Cape Hall of Fame. But as Coach mentioned, you know, I think one of the things that I appreciated a lot about the Cape was the immense amount of talent and the ability to push myself to the limits and stretch my capabilities. And so after struggling that first year, to be able to come back to Katuitt and kind of take on the challenge head on meant a lot to me and kind of paved the way for a lot of what I did the rest of my career and a lot of the ups and downs that I had in pro ball too. So I'll be forever grateful for that. And I just lastly want to say thank you to my mom and dad. So, you know, there's a lot that goes into it, and as I get older, I recognize more and more the sacrifices that you guys made, and you know, the perseverance that Coach Roberts talked about, the attitude. That's what you guys taught me growing up, and what you guys instilled in me. And extremely grateful to have you guys both here today, to have you guys support me always, and for the values and everything that you guys taught me growing up to get me here. So. Again, thank you guys so much for this honor. Incredibly honored to be a part of this group, and we'll forever be grateful to be a part of Cape Cod and Cape Cod Hall of Fame. Thank you.
For more than 3 decades, Steve Wilson was the quintessential Cape League volunteer, working tirelessly to improve the league while demonstrating fiscal responsibility. His meticulous management of the Cape Cod Baseball League finances for 30 years as the league's treasurer demonstrated his peerless attention to detail. Steve's development of the league's 5-year budget plan proved to be one of his most significant accomplishments in guiding the Cape League toward financial stability. As the first webmaster, Wilson managed content and technical support for the league's highly popular website. He advocated for constant upgrades to the franchise's broadcasting capabilities as a means of promoting the league nationwide. A thoughtful and quiet presence since 1986, Wilson helped guide the league through unparalleled growth and success. In 2008, Wilson was recognized as the league's Richard Sullivan Executive of the Year. Steve had a distinguished career as school psychologist for the Harwich Public Schools and served as both assistant and head coach of the Harwich High School baseball team, and later head coach of Monomoy Regional High School. Congratulations to Steve Wilson, Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame, class of 2022.
I wanted to come up here with my phone and just do it off my phone so I could be cool. But my phone froze up. So Steve, with his technical ability, said, "Show me your phone, I can take care of it." I said, "Don't worry, I have it on paper." So congratulations to the entire class this year. It's very exciting to see all of you here. Beautiful resort, incredible day, and all of you have worked so hard to make this happen, especially to have Scott back as the MC. It's truly my honor to be here today. I feel as excited as the inductees to be invited to present Steve Wilson. You have no idea how much this means to me. And I'll try not to get emotional about it. Steve and I first met in 1986 when he came on board as the new Cape League treasurer. I was vice president at the time, and for the next 30 years, we worked on so many aspects of the Cape League, anything that was Cape League related. 4 words about Steve, and it's hard to confine it to 4, but I picked out 4. I've been working on this speech for 8 weeks, so I picked out 4. Integrity, loyalty, longevity, and humility. Steve served as Cape League treasurer for 35 years and demonstrated unquestionable integrity. His attention to detail and his meticulous reports wowed the board of directors, meeting after meeting, year after year, decade after decade. What an incredible job Steve did creating a sound fiscal plan and demonstrating such financial and fiscal responsibility and stability for decades. That's integrity, loyalty. Steve's two priorities in life were his family and baseball. Baseball included the Cape League, Harwich High School, Monomoy High School, and I'm sure Laurel and the girls sometimes thought that they might have been number 2 when baseball was number 1. But really, we knew that always with Steve, Sarah, Kristen, Laurel always got top billing, was always family first. Longevity, this is a no-brainer. 35 years in the Cape Cod Baseball League and 45 years coaching baseball. I don't have to say any more. There it is. Humility. If anyone, and most of you in the room, half of you in the room know Steve, humility is one of the first words that comes to your mind. Steve is always giving credit to someone else, always praising their effort, always avoiding the limelight. This is evident with his players, his students, and in the Cape League. It's just who he is. It was never about Steve Wilson. Well, Mr. Wilson, today it's about you. It is my honor and my privilege to present Steve Wilson for induction into the Cape League Hall of Fame.
I'd like to thank very much Miss Judy for the kind words and the thoughtful words. We certainly worked well together for many years, helping to build the Cape League into the best summer league possible. I'd like to congratulate the other Hall of Fame inductees today. Your special contributions to both the teams and league history is awesome. And it's been great to meet you personally last night and continue to view you today. I want to thank my family and friends who've come today. It brings a smile to my face to see you and share this special occasion with you. Thank you. I'd like to thank my daughter, Sarah, and grandchildren who attempted to come and travel from Fort Drum, New York. Her husband is in the service. As you probably heard, there was a snowstorm out in Buffalo. Fort Drum is on the eastern edge of Lake Ontario, and she got snowed in yesterday with 5 to 6 feet of snow in her driveway. The road's impassable on the Fort Drum, and road travel in Jefferson County restricted. You can't go. So she isn't with us today, but I'd like to make sure that I recognize her effort in getting here, and the roads are at this point prohibited, but you're here in spirit. I know you're disappointed, but you're here in spirit and also on FaceTime rather. So we're likely to hear from them at some point about being here. We want to thank you, Nick, who's service deployed right now, and your family for the service, which allows so many of us here in this room the freedoms to be able to play baseball, to enjoy baseball and sports in general in this country. I'd like to thank Kristen and her husband, Mark, who traveled from the Virgin Islands. And a special thanks to my wife, Laurel, who's always been supportive of my time given to the Cape League. Thank you for the Hall of Fame committee. It was certainly unexpected. Your nomination, which I will always treasure as a special honor in my life. When I think of the Cape League, I think of the words community and family. I will always feel appreciative and gratitude for being a part of this special family. I've been so fortunate to have the opportunity to be involved in so many activities, special projects, and committees, but it's the hundreds of extraordinary people and the relationships that make the Cape Cod Baseball League endure and thrive. For more than 40 years, the Cape League has been an important part of my life. In 1974, fresh out of graduate school, I came to the Cape with my wife Laurel and started my first job, school psychologist, in the Harwich Public Schools. Moving to the Cape turned out to be the best ever decision for us to be able to raise a family in this most beautiful part of the world with our 2 daughters, Sarah and Kristen. My first office in Harwich, the old Harwich Junior Senior High School, now replaced by Monomoy, was in the parking lot spot adjacent to White House Field. Who would have thought that the high school principal was, in fact, vice principal named Fred Ebbett. Fred Ebbett also was the high school baseball coach. In that first week of school, he took me out to White House, introduced me what it looked like, and then said, "Can you help me with the varsity?" That started a relationship with Fred and the Harwich Mariners that lasted for many years. And over the years, Fred increasingly introduced me to more and more Harwich Mariners. Finally, in 1986, Fred and several of the Mariners organization recruited me to be the treasurer of the Cape Cod Baseball League because, one, I knew how to use a computer, build a spreadsheet, and how to build a website. How many of you can remember what was a portable Apple IIc computer? Some of you are old enough to remember. Well, that's what we started with. In '86, I was not really sure how to be a treasurer, but they assured me they'll help me. In '86, the Treasury had $5,000 in the bank. Fred Peck gave me a checkbook, literally one checkbook with 30 checks in it, and a box, literally this big, of Cape Cod Baseball League records. That was it. Over the years, that checkbook, and over the years, the Cape League treasurer's job increasingly increased responsibilities, and with the support of the executive committee and the board of directors, we built a cash reserve of $1.4 million when I retired in 2020. So we went from 5,000 to 2020, built the Cape Cod Baseball League. In addition to my responsibility as treasurer, I've also had the opportunity to be involved in many significant committees, including the budget, finance, investment, corporate development, website, broadcasting, internet, video equipment, field improvement, field safety, and strategic planning. Special projects included writing grants for the Cape Cod Baseball League and participation with many people here in terms of the weekly and yearly player statistics and analysis that we did for Major League Baseball reports. I got the chance to go out in the field and be a photographer, and work with the team internet broadcasting services, and helped build the Cape Cod Baseball League website. Over the years, it's been the collaborating with so many extraordinary people on these projects, which has given me the most rewarding and memorable experiences. As treasurer, my goal was to demonstrate financial responsibility with impeccable records and financial planning such that the teams in the league would share in the financial growth, security, and stability. As savings grew, the next step was to develop a recurring 5-year plan and prepare for that rainy day, which we unfortunately have seen most recently. My objective was to leave the league in a better position than when I started. I am so grateful to Cape League, which got me started in high school baseball, coaching, and then at the league level as the Cape League treasurer. What an opportunity it's been to work in the Harwich schools, and then each spring go out and teach baseball and be at White House Field and be an assistant, then JV coach, and finally head coach for Harwich and Monomoy, till I retired in 2018. As Harwich and Monomoy head coach, I had the opportunity to practice every day at White House Field and compete against the local high school teams, which all use Cape League groomed fields provided by the Cape League. I'm proud to be a part of this history and the growth of the league for more than 40 years. From '86 to 2020, it's been a privilege to work with so many different people, serving executive committee members, presidents, commissioners, special interest groups, fundraisers, public relations, and team franchise representatives. I've worked with so many talented people who share the common goal of creating the best summer league organization and experience for all. Although the players are the focus and receive many of the highlights, the Cape League would not exist without the hundreds and hundreds of dedicated team and league support staff and volunteers. Indeed, this Hall of Fame ceremony, which included last night, would not have happened without the many volunteers who planned throughout the year for this event. As Cape League treasurer, it never felt like a job because I really enjoyed planning, presentations, meeting with such an amazing group of people. The Cape League has had an extraordinary positive reputation in the community because people want to be a part of it. I'm grateful for the time with the Cape League and especially the many people I've met and called as friends. It's been a very rewarding experience as part of the Cape League. I cannot possibly thank everyone who's given me years of encouragement and support in my various roles. I could never have done it alone without your trust and confidence. the impact. The hardest part of today is I can't thank everyone and recognize each and every person who's impacted my life, including the many who have passed. I consider listing 40 years of league officials, executives, committee members, board of directors, general managers, coaches, players, interns, and team associated volunteers, but even that list would still be incomplete. Instead, I'd like to ask you to think about the following. What does the Cape mean? What has the Cape League meant to you and to every one of you in this room? Whether you had been one summer with the league or lifetime as a member of the Cape League, think of some or the many people who you include in your Cape League family who made a difference and impacted your life. See their face, hear their voice, and cherish the memory of those who make the Cape League forever a special for you. People and relationships are the essence of our shared experiences and memories in the Cape League. Thank you very much for this honor, and I will always cherish being a part and member of the Cape League family. Thank you.
In the summer of 2006, following his freshman year at South Carolina, Justin Smoke led all hitters in the Cape League with 11 home runs, 21 extra base hits, 87 total bases, and a .565 slugging percentage to capture the league's Most Valuable Player award. That season, he was voted team MVP for the West Division champion Cotuit Kettleers. Smoke was named the starting first baseman for the West Division All-Stars and was named the All-League first baseman at the end of the year. Smoke left South Carolina holding multiple career records, including home runs with 62, RBIs with 207, and walks with 151. Smoke was selected 11th overall in the 2008 Major League Baseball draft by the Texas Rangers. He made his Major League debut with Texas in 2010 and went on to enjoy an 11-year Major League career, playing with Texas, Seattle, Toronto, Milwaukee, and San Francisco. Along the way, Smoke was selected to the American League All-Star team in 2017. The switch hitter ended his Major League career in 2020 with 196 home runs and 570 runs batted in. Congratulations to Justin Smoke, the Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame, class of 2022.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be here today to get to talk a little bit about my little brother, although I can't call him little anymore. Younger brother is more like it. All of the Hall of Famers that are here today have to have some level of success as they are growing up and getting to the point where they're at today. Because success breeds confidence, and you have to have confidence in order to play the game. And Justin really started his start of success as a little T-baller at the Goose Creek Parks and Playground in South Carolina, running the wrong way around the bases, doing crazy things on there. But he was always a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger than most of the kids he got to play with. He was also a little bit slower than most of the kids he played with. That's always continued throughout his big league career as well. At Goose Creek, they didn't really have travel teams back then. So most of the work that Justin got to do from season to season was working with our dad, Keith. And he would come home from the bus. He'd get off. My dad would be waiting for him, say, all right, what do you want to do today, buddy? You want to go hit? You want to go throw? Take some grounders? How do you want to get this done today? And he was always willing to do that. From there, he went on to have a great high school career, did wonderful, two-time All-State MVP of state of South Carolina, and then was just doing phenomenal and got all these offers from all these schools to come play. I remember my dad called me one time. He said, hey, you know who he got a letter from? And I said, who? And he said, Harvard. And I said, Harvard? He could be the best player in the country, but does he know what kind of SAT scores you got to have to get into Harvard? That was for you, buddy. But no, he was going to go nowhere else but the University of South Carolina as a Gamecock. That was where he was. He had always dreamed as a kid to go play. Loved it there. Had a great experience there. And really his freshman year was a freshman All-American and got to come here to Katuitt, and I know he had an unbelievable experience here on the Cape, really enjoyed his time, and that excelled, with his success here, helped him then play on Team USA the year after that, get drafted and go on to major leagues for the years that he had to experience there. But his season in the Cape really did help him gain that confidence that he needed in order to play against some of these great players that you see here today at a very high level for a long time. And so it's my honor to present Justin Smoke for induction into the Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm glad my presenter talked probably longer than I'll talk up here. But yeah, what an honor. I mean, this place here was the best summer of my life. I got the opportunity, I got lucky enough to come up here with two of my best friends, guys that were in my wedding. Both played at South Carolina together, grew up together. Both loved to fish. And we caught a lot of those stripers when I was up here, and that was a lot of fun. And to fish and play baseball every day, and man, you couldn't ask for anything better. But my family, of course, my brother, but my daughter, youngest, Berkeley, Sutton, my mom, Debbie, and my wife, Kristen, who, if everybody knows me, Kristen runs this show. So, yeah, she takes care of me, and she has since we were in high school sweethearts. But yeah, the other honorees, guys, of course, Stroh that I played with. Yeah, what an honor. I mean, couldn't ask for anything more. Like I said, best summer of my life. Coach Roberts, first practice ever for Katuitt. Calls everybody to home plate. We go to home plate, we stand there, he said, all right, follow me. Rounds first. Old man slides head first into second base. And I'm looking at these guys, I'm like, come on, man, what do we got going on here? But hey, I'll tell you, he made me a better player. He taught me how to hit with a wood bat, honestly. I mean, I knew nothing about a wood bat. I hit tires in the backyard with one. My dad swore that's all he ever played with, so he was, Cal Ripken. But yeah, Coach Roberts, we worked daily on how to hit with a wood bat, shorten your swing, and me being a big guy, I never really had a short swing, but if I could shorten it, Coach Roberts was the one to do it. But thank you, everybody.
Hailing from Ferrum College in Virginia, Brewster Whitecap Billy Wagner was one of the most dominant pitchers in Cape League history. In 1992, the fireballing southpaw posted a 3-2 record and a 3.65 ERA, striking out 79 batters in just 44 innings. His 16.2 strikeouts per 9 innings that season still stands as a Cape League record. Wagner was named the East Division Most Valuable Player of the All-Star Game and the league's most outstanding pro prospect. During his collegiate career, he posted a 17-3 record and set a Division III record with 327 career strikeouts in 182 1/3 innings, a strikeout ratio of 16.1. Wagner was a top-rated college prospect in the 1993 Major League Draft, where he was taken 12th overall by the Houston Astros, making his Major League debut with Houston in 1995. During his 16-year professional career, Wagner posted a 47-40 record with a 2.31 ERA and 422 saves in 853 relief appearances. Perhaps his most memorable seasons were 1999 in Houston, when he recorded 39 saves with a 1.57 ERA, and 2005 with Philadelphia, when he earned a 1.78 ERA and 38 saves in a league-leading 70 games. He was a 7-time Major League All-Star and won the National League Rolaids Relief Man Award in 1999. Congratulations to Billy Wagner, Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame, Class of 2022.
really sorry to hear last night that Billy Wagner is late scratch today. He has a case of the flu. Not COVID, I understand, but he's got the flu. That's not fun either. And he was left a really nice note that was read at last night's dinner. And we're sorry that he couldn't be here because we wanted to congratulate him in person. But perhaps we can bring him back next year and do that. But to present Billy Wagner for induction and to accept the award for him, please welcome a man who has done so much for this league that he has an award named after him. He is maybe the best friend the league has ever had. He's a Cape League Hall of Famer and one of the game's most preeminent journalists. And Peter, does it embarrass you to call you a legendary sports writer? Because that is what you are. Peter Gammons, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm old, so that makes me legendary. There's a very good friend of mine who's vice president of the Dodgers at this point in his career. He pitched for Brewster in, I think, 2008, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff McAvoy. But he has a great thing about scouting. And he said, they want all these little analytical details and things that they want. And he said, at the beginning of every scouting report, usually it might be 8 pages, it might be 10 pages, but the first thing up at the top of the scouting report should be, how much does he love to play? And one of the great things about, not only about Billy Wagner, but all the players that I see now, I mean, they're just a smoke going to a game in Katuitt when I was in the hospital in 2000. There was a thing. He's a very important. I have a picture of him up in my office in Katuitt, Massachusetts, because of what he meant in terms of my recovery, and he was a major part of it. And the first time I ever saw Marcus pitch, and then later, even trying to watch video of him beating my alma mater, North Carolina, I just said, I love because he loves to play. That's his game, is loving to play. And Ian, this last year, at the end of the year, we were talking about things that we appreciate most, and how you have made yourself a better player in every phase of the game is something that I said, there's an example of someone who truly loves the game because he makes himself better every single year, and this year was a tremendous year. And I thank all of you for making my life, because it's all about players, and it's been my life since I first started covering the Red Sox in 1972, and I appreciate it all. But I moved to Katuitt, Massachusetts in 1992, and a very good friend of mine, a scout named Paul Ricciarini, called me and said, Peter, you got to see this guy. I mean, you can't believe him. And so I went over to see Billy Wagner pitch at Brewster, and it was a very nice gentleman sitting next to me said, well, how would you describe him? I said, the only way I could describe him is my. Unbelievable. And with all the great players that have been in the Cape over the last 30 years, I can honestly say that he was the best pitcher I ever saw on the Cape, and he was different. I mean, today, starting really in Houston with Brent Strom, who was his minor league pitching coach, the idea of the four-seamer, the high fastballs up in the zone, Billy Wagner, that's what he threw. He was 5'8" and unbelievably strong, and his fastball, it looks like it rises. I understand. Brad Osmus always says, well, the ball doesn't actually rise, but it just never goes down. And he threw this way as an absolutely raw kid. And what's amazing, Billy is different, to say the least. First of all, he's right-handed. And since he's just about the greatest left-handed relief pitcher of all time, that makes it interesting. But when he was 7 years old playing football, he broke his right shoulder and learned to throw right-handed. I think knocking down all the outdoor shingles outside his grandparents' house and he couldn't afford a new glove, so he just turned his glove out inside out and went from there. And in college, his first year led the country in strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. And one of my really favorite memories was the All-Star game in 1992. And there were a lot of, I was just looking it up, there were like 25 major leaguers in that game. And he came into relief. Brian Anderson, who later had a very good career with several major league teams, mainly the Angels, was really good. Wayne Gomes was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 3rd or 4th pick in the country in 2003. But Billy did. He came in, I think, in the 6th inning. He threw 10 pitches. Nobody hit a foul ball off him, and that was that. And then he went to Houston the next year, 12th pick in the draft. Probably should have been 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, but he always heard all his life, and I used to hear from people, "Oh, he's too small," which prompted a "Do you ever see Billy Wagner pitch?" Response that I had to a fan when Marcus was pitching in the Cape League. He said, "Oh, he's awful small." I said, "Yeah, you ever see Billy Wagner pitch?" Well, that was it. I mean, he went up through the minor leagues, and he couldn't. He threw a curveball, which wasn't very good. He threw really hard, but he was fortunate. He got to the major leagues, and Brad Lidge taught him a slider that became a great pitch. And we used to talk about how, I remember Tom Seaver saying to me that how much he reminded, that Billy reminded him of Tom himself because of the leg drive, because Billy was really, really strong. And because he was 5'8", it looked like he was throwing uphill all the time. But he also was unique because he could say things. When he was with Houston, and he was really their starting pitcher or reliever on the team. Somebody said something to him about the owner, Drayton McLean, and Billy said, "Well, it's not like he's going out and getting us any other good pitchers." Well, he was gone. About 3 weeks later, Drayton McLean out of here, off to Philadelphia. And then when he was with the Mets, he had some issues because he spoke out about players on a couple of Mets teams that they would never go out and face the media when they were going from 1st to 4th place during the second half of a year. And he used to be that we used to joke that Carlos Beltran and David Wright would spend like 4 hours combined after games, and like 21 of the players in the team would never come out of the trainer's room. So he got let go by the Mets for that too. But that's part of the fun of it. I mean, it's. I actually was talking to Jeff Bagwell about Billy a couple days ago, and he was saying, I mean, he faced everything in his life directly. I mean, he once got hit in the face by a line drive. They thought he was going to be out the rest of the season. He pitched like 4 days later. He had 2 shoulder operations after the 2000 season and was back in spring training, throwing hard the first day of spring training the next year. And it's never been any different. To this day, he's still coaching, teaching. His son, Will, is in AAA with the Astros, and just, I believe, led the Arizona Fall League in hitting. He doesn't strike out, so Dusty Baker, I think, will love him. But he was such a great pitcher on so many levels. I mean, he pitched 16 years in the major leagues, which is, I'm one of those people who was a maniac playing baseball when I was in high school and playing. I didn't play one day in the big leagues. My definition of anyone who plays one day in the major leagues, he's an incredible athlete. And 16 years is pretty good. And his last game in 2010, he was called in to pitch the the eighth inning for the Braves, ironically, against Brad Lidge was pitching against him, and it's just funny because they were together for so many years. But Billy went out. That was his last game. But he struck out the side. The last three batters he ever faced in the big leagues, he struck out. Now, for about the next month, I'll be working on my Hall of Fame ballot for Cooperstown for the 2023 class. He's gone from very low percentage at first. He's supposed to get to 75%. He's now up over 50%, and I do believe in the next 2 or 3 years, my vote will certainly be with him once again. But I think he's going to end up in the Major League Hall of Fame. I think you look at what he did, 422 saves is the sixth most in baseball history. He has, his career strikeouts per 9 innings, 11.9, is the best in the history of baseball for anyone who threw 900 innings. His .231 career ERA is the second best for any reliever in baseball history, behind Mariano Rivera. And the 187 batting average against him is the best in the live ball era. Now, relief pitchers, we and the baseball writers haven't always figured out exactly where relief pitchers stand as far as the voting in the Hall of Fame, but he's so unusual and so great, and his charm is that he's a very simple man with very simple dreams. He grew up in Appalachia, and he loved sports. He was a great football player, loved to play baseball, and just became, I don't know, he is, in my mind, in my 30 years on the Cape, the best pitcher I've ever seen. And Marcus, don't take offense. No, I'm only kidding, of course. But he is. I mean, it was incredible watching him. And he's certainly in the top 5 or 6 relief pitchers who ever played. And one of the things that's really fun, when he called me to tell me that he had been elected to the Cape League Hall of Fame, he said, I just found out a few hours ago. And he said, you're going to come? Will you come? And I said, yeah. Really hadn't thought about it, but I said, yeah. And he said, well, you know what? He said that All-Star game in 1992, I think it was Harwich, but I can't completely remember. But he said, you know what? That may be close to the most important day of my baseball career, because it was in that game, in that day, and all that went on with it, that I said, you know what? I think I'm going to do this for a living. And so, thank you very much for inducting him in the Cape League Hall of Fame, and I am honored and proud to have spoken for him, and I hope I didn't embarrass him.
Marcus Stroman came to Orleans in 2010, following his freshman year at Duke. During that summer, pitching primarily in relief, Stroman allowed 0 earned runs over 28 innings while striking out 35 batters and recording 11 saves. Opponents hit just 120 with a .312 OPS against him. His performance earned Stroman a place on both the East Division All-Star team and the All-League team. Stroman returned to Orleans in 2011, pitching another 6 scoreless innings before leaving to join Team USA, bringing his CCBL career total to 34 innings and 0 runs allowed. He was selected 22nd overall in the 2012 Major League Draft by the Toronto Blue Jays. And 2 years later, he made his Major League debut, finishing his rookie year with a .365 ERA. Sidelined with an ACL injury in 2015, Stroman completed his Duke degree during rehabilitation and made an amazing recovery to become the Jays' opening day starting pitcher in 2016. His best season to date has been 2021 with the New York Mets, in which he made a league-leading 33 starts with career highs in ERA 3.02 and strikeouts per 9 innings at 7.9. Stroman has established himself as one of the premier fielding pitchers in all of baseball, winning a Gold Glove Award in 2017. Congratulations to Marcus Stroman, Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame, class of 2022.
So in the fall of 2009, I received a phone call from the head coach at Duke, Sean McNally. Told me he had just watched a bullpen from one of his incoming freshmen. Thought he could help us. Said he threw nothing but strikes, was extremely athletic, and that his stuff was electric. Sean went on to say that this young man had also been a 3-sport athlete at Patchogue Medford High School on Long Island. He'd been drafted as a shortstop by the Washington Nationals. I asked Sean his name, and he said, Marcus Stroman. I simply said, we'll take him. I'm certainly glad Coach McNally made that phone call. I'm certainly glad that we had the honor and privilege of watching you pitch in Orleans. And since that summer, Stro, you've made all of us in Orleans and in the entire Cape League extremely proud. You're always the most asked about dude every summer from our players. What's he like? Tell me about Stroman. I tell him he had the best summer of any pitcher since I've been in Orleans. I tell him he didn't give up a single run in 2010, and in 2011, between Orleans and Team USA, he didn't give up a hit. I tell him that the uniforms we wear today were donated by him without anyone asking. I want our players to know that he simply did it out of the goodness of his heart, that Marcus Stroman understands the importance of giving back. I also tell them that my wife, Donna, loves him. First time she met Stro, back in 2010, he was taking care of a little kid who'd used his face instead of his glove at Firebird Clinic. And he took a ball to the face, and Stro, being the good guy that he was, Donna happened to be at Eldridge Park that day, and she was so impressed by the care and concern that he showed for this little crying, embarrassed little boy. The second time was when Don and I waited for Marcus postgame in LA, back in August of 21. It happened to be Donna's birthday, and she insisted we go to a Dodger game. Just kidding. To this day, that's a true story. It was her birthday. To this day, she talks about his grace, his personality, his kindness, his smile, and yes, his style. That's what you do, Stro. When people meet you, they love you. And when they get to know you, their lives are positively impacted. I'm confident that everyone in this room is well aware of Marcus Stroman's accomplishments on the diamond, a few of which were previously showed on the video. First rounder, 2017 World Baseball Classic MVP, 2017 Gold Glover, 2019 All-Star, just to name a few. But what some people in the room might not know is that Marcus has interests outside of baseball that are wide-ranging, from podcasting to wine to music. He has an apparel company, HDMH, Height Doesn't Measure Heart, and just recently released his new line of cleats and trainers called Shugo, In addition, the first of a three-part series of books published by Simon & Schuster called The Grip, which focuses on how to handle adversity and help the minds of young kids, comes out at the end of January. And most importantly, Marcus Stroman loves his family. Mom Adlin, Dad Earl, Sister Sabria, Brother Jaden, Stepmom Michaela, and more than anything, and on December 10th, 2021, Shannon and Marcus became the proud parents to a beautiful baby boy, Kaizen Stroman. Marcus Stroman is here today despite hearing at every level that he was too short to accomplish his dreams of becoming a professional. He has quieted his doubters and has risen above to prove them all wrong. He has done it with an incredible work ethic, perseverance, grit, determination, and yes, a little bit of swag. He's established himself as one of the elite starting pitchers in Major League Baseball, and in doing so, has acquired an extremely powerful platform for good with his HDMH Foundation, which creates opportunities for in-need youth to rise above their circumstances, realize their greatest potential, and never stop pursuing their dreams, just like he did. Stroh continued success with the Cubs and continue to make this world a better place. You have no idea how much you mean to me and so many others. I love and respect you, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Marcus Stroman for introduction into the Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame.
Wow, what a speech by Coach Kelly there. Hard to put in words, this honor. Obviously, Cape Cod's kind of seen as the pinnacle of baseball when it comes to playing baseball as a young teenager, kind of growing up, and to be inducted into the Hall of Fame with this prestigious amount of people that have been inducted. It's an honor. Definitely want to thank everyone I have here, my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my brother. Without my pops, I don't want to cry. I'm not going to be able to do this. Without my dad, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, truly. He taught me everything I am that I turned out to be. Work ethic, who I am, how I work comes directly from that man. I truly believe I outwork anybody in the league, and that's because of him. He still wakes up every day, goes to the gym. He used to drag me to the gym at 4 a.m. We used to be opening the gym before the people even got there to open it. Like, he taught me everything about work ethic, and if you want to provide for your family, you have to go out there and work, and nothing is going to come easy in this world. He was also very real with me, being a minority in this society today, about how difficult it was going to be to navigate. And like I said, without him teaching me how to be, I would never be in this position. I would have folded way earlier in life if I didn't have the mentality that he taught me to have. My mom, that's my rock. She's the most stable individual I've ever had in my life. She's now my manager, my assistant. She oversees everything in my life. She's my best friend, truly. I can't say enough. Without my mom, I truly wouldn't be here either. I come from a divorced household, but I'm extremely thankful for my mom and my father for getting through their differences and always putting me first through my entire childhood, which was incredibly difficult to do. I thank my stepmom for being there as well when I was at my dad's, because my dad was very difficult to deal with at times because it was a lot of work and not much play. But yeah, without my mom, my dad, I would never be here. So I owe them the world, and I try to give them the world now. That's why I work as much as I do, is to give them as many blessings as I can. having a child now, I truly don't know how they did it. The sacrifice, the work, I don't understand. And like I said, to be a team, when they got divorced when I was in 5th grade, to be able to raise me as a team, it's incredibly hard to do in this world today. So all my thanks, the reason I'm at where I'm at today, me being inducted into the Hall of Fame, is because of my parents, truly. And they created the individual I am. They told me to chase my dreams no matter what anybody tells you. They told me that I was going to face a lot of adversity in life, that I can get through whatever it may be. And they provide the utmost stability through tough times that I've been through in my life as well. So all the glory goes to them, truly. Coach Kelly, I mean, what a legend. Beyond thankful to have met you, be in your presence, to come out here in the Cape, where honestly, I felt like this was a springboard to my career. After coming to the Cape, I realized I could not hit a slider, but that I could throw one. And and I ended up pretty much, that launched my pitching career after the success I had here. Coach Kelly's an unbelievable human being, not even just a coach. How he manages different relationships, different personalities is incredible. He's loyal. He's checks in all the time. He wants to be there for you. People like him don't exist in this world, so I'm very thankful for you, Coach Kelly. Sue, everybody at Orleans, thank you for everything you guys did, for making my time there incredible. I'm truly thankful for my time in Orleans, because I know without that time, I don't think my career would have panned out as it has. So it truly was a springboard. And like I said, I'm thankful for everyone on the induction committee. I would always text Coach Kelly throughout the years and be like, hey, when am I getting in this thing, man? Like, I feel like I should have let up maybe one run. I should have let up one maybe. But yeah, super thankful. This is an honor. Like I said, this is a pinnacle when it comes to baseball players. We all strive to not one, play in the Cape, and then to be in the Hall of Fame. That's a whole nother level. So thank you to everybody involved. I truly feel like I'm just getting started in my career. I think many more things are coming, and I just want to say thank you.
Cincinnati product Ian Happ was a versatile standout for the Harwich Mariners during the summers of 2013 and 2014. On the Cape, Happ played 7 positions, including all 3 outfield spots as well as pitcher. In 2013, joining the team initially as a temporary player, he led the Mariners in nearly every category, hitting .293 with 7 doubles, 5 home runs, 22 runs scored, 22 RBIs, 13 stolen bases, and a .469 slugging percentage. In 2014, Happ finished 9th in the league batting race at .329, with 12 doubles, 4 home runs, 26 runs batted in, 25 runs scored, and 8 stolen bases. Happ's strong 2014 campaign led Harwich to the regular season East Division title. Happ was an East Division All-Star both years and was named to the All-League team in 2014. He was selected 9th overall in the first round of the 2015 Major League Draft by the Chicago Cubs and made his Major League debut in 2017, hitting .253 with an .842 OPS, 24 homers, and 68 runs batted in. Congratulations to Ian Happ, Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame, class of 2022.
What a day. I want to take the time out to all the people that are involved in putting on this day. You owe yourself a pat in the back. It's just been a tremendous thing that we've got going here, and congratulations to all the inductees here. This is a superstar class. As a coach, you wouldn't get into this business if you didn't have a competitive nature. And, in this league, obviously, anytime you keep score, you want to go out and you want to win. But this league is not what that really is all about. And you have to take a step back and realize that it's a showcase league, okay? And it's a player's opportunity to go out there and prove themselves. And my guy, Ian Happ, certainly took full advantage of that. He came in as a temporary player from a mid-tiered program, okay? He ended up having a pretty good first season, comes back the second year, has a monster season, and now he's on everybody's draft boards. His stock is shot through the roof, and, you know, I wish DraftKings was around back then, because based on all the phone calls that I received from every single Major League Baseball club, I would have pushed everything I had in on him being drafted in the first round. And it started in the fall, and we're talking cross-checkers, scouts, area scouts, GMs. They all want to know about Ian Happ. And I'm not just saying, they all know what he did on the field for those 2 summers, because he had scouts up here and seeing, you know, the power from both sides, the speed and all of that. So they want to know background. So in most instances, the guys that you talk to, front office people or scouts, they're big golfers, and I'm an avid golfer. So I try to make a comparison with that, and I said, listen, you know, you play golf, and you're out there for 4.5 hours, so you don't want to be paired up with some jackass out there, because they're going to ruin your whole round. So you have to be very particular on who you play with. And I said, I play golf with Ian Happ, and you would want him in your foursome too. And they were saying, that's pretty good, that's pretty good. And I remember the first day he and I teed it up, and here comes Happer down the first tee box, and he's dressed like he just fell off the cover of Golf Digest. He's got the pants on, they're all pressed, he's got the white belt, it's like Callaway sponsored him or something. And I'm standing there on the tee box, I had a pair of shorts on, a Marvin Hagler t-shirt or something. And I'm saying, oh boy, I'm in big trouble now. I said, I lost the match before I even took a swing, so. And I went on to say, I said, listen, you better go to Home Depot and get the 2 biggest wheelbarrows you possibly can, fill it with cash, and then bring it over and dump it in his living room, because if you don't pay the guy, we're going to try to get on the PGA Tour and get that tour card, and I'm going to be his caddy. So it ended up turning out pretty good, but you know, they always want you to delve into the type of character and background work ethic that you have, and Ian, you know, it was a slam dunk. And you always try to come up with some type of, you know, colorful explanations of, you know, what his summers were like and what type of person he was, rather than just giving the stock answers. So I said, all right, here's a day in the life of Ian Happ. Gets up, milks the cows, feeds the animals, dresses up like a pirate and goes in the camp, pirate camp, okay? Goes to the gym, comes to the yard, gets his early work in, gets in the lineup, puts up his 4 quality at-bats. Like, what are you talking about with this milking the cows and stuff? Well, you see, we have a host family here, and they're both here, Tom and Ashby Kraft, and they house half our team every year. And we'd be lost without them. They're tremendous people, and they live on a farm. And you saw the pictures there. And you think I'm joking about milking the cows. Get up every day, do that, and I know they put them to work. So they were eating that up. And then I said, what's this business with the pirates? Dressing up like a pirate. And right here, there's Wauquasit Inn. Every year, they call us up. They take care of our team every year, and they want us to, you know, they feed our team, and you always want to take care of those that take care of you. And they say, can you please send a player or 2 over to work as pirate camp we have for our, you know, kids that are in the resort here on vacation. So Ian signed up for it. Okay, and he couldn't wait to put on that outfit. And I tell you what, Johnny Depp had nothing on him. Pirates of the Caribbean, right? I think he enjoyed being that pirate more than the kids at the camp. You know, he was having them call him Captain Longball or Captain Smash-a-Lot. I don't know what it was, but he really enjoyed it. And you know, those kids would show up at night for a game, and Hap would hit a bomb over the scoreboard. And instead of, you know, how you flip the bat, he would take the bat out and be going down the first base line like he was in a sword fight. He actually didn't do that. It would have been freaking awesome if he did. But he did dress up like a pirate, and he loved it. And the people over here, he's so revered over here with the people that work in the area, and they remember him. They couldn't wait for him to get back up here, and they were in a frenzy, so much so that he had to hire his personal bodyguard, Sal Annunziata, the home run king, former Howard's teammate, over here to be his bodyguard to keep all the paparazzi off of him. But yeah, just like, you know, we were reminiscing last night, and
those guys, and you love coaching in the league, just, for guys like him. And I'll tell you what, I challenge anyone to come up with a vintage wine that has had a better year than this guy. Okay, this year he wins his arbitration case with the Cubs. Okay, boom batter, pockets getting fatter. Right, Johnny Walker Blues on you tonight, my man. All right. Then he goes out, he makes the All-Star team. Hey, how are you? Pretty good, right? Then he goes out and he hits his 100th home run. No doubt he built up that rich strength from the milk and the cows over there on the Ashby's farm, right? And John, who did he hit his 100th home run off? Come on now. I stumped him. Former Howard Schmarin of Brandon Woodruff. Yep, former Howard guy. Then he goes out and he wins a Gold Glove. And I tell everyone I had a little hand in that because after his freshman year, he called me. He goes, "Hey, coach, you know what? I want to play shortstop next year." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I want to play Augusta National." I said, "Yeah, you just come on up. You run around in the outfield and make it your no-fly zone, and you just keep banging on that whooping stick, okay, and everything's going to be just fine." So on top of that, he gets engaged. And I met his lovely wife-to-be, his fiancée, Julie. I tell you what, Hoss, it's so lucky you can turn around a fastball because you would have no shot. No shot. And now the icing on the cake, cherry on top, and one of the good guys in baseball, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce to you 2022 Cape League Hall of Fame Ian Happ.
I don't know how you follow that. This is full circle for me. I was right across where we ate. I was the pirate. I would dress up. Me and my two other roommates, we would split the week, and that was my summer job, helping the kids get food from the buffet line, and then taking an occasional nap in the storage room right next door. Very familiar with this resort. This is, I tell people all the time, this is the most special place in the world. I was so lucky. I won't be able to get through it, but to spend 2 summers here, it was the best 2 summers of my life, and to make some amazing relationships. I came up here my freshman year playing at Cincinnati, a mid-tier program, as Steve said, and had a good year, but this was it. This was the place. I read about the Cape Cod League. I read, what's the book, Ma? Last Best League. And this, my brother was 6 years older. He played college ball, played summer ball in Hawaii, but this was it. This was where all of the greats went. And I remember driving up, and I was on a temp contract and being really just fired up to get an opportunity to do it. And Steve, Coach E, he changed my life. He let me stick up here and play a full summer, and I went to the All-Star game my first year, hit a homer left-handed and a double right-handed, and that was it. I was good. I was a first-rounder from then on out, and I just got to come back and have fun the second summer. And Tom and Ashby were the best host parents in the world with the cows, as you saw. The relationship that we made, that we still have that summer, to be able to make those friends, my best buddy Sal, who will be in my wedding, all of those relationships, the people here that make this place run, that make it so special, they put all of their time and effort every summer into making this place the most special, most amazing summer league in the world. Our family was going through a really tough time my second year up here. My dad got diagnosed with brain cancer. And I don't talk about it much, but the way that the people here took me in as family, let my family deal with that, and took me in and took care of me so that I could do what I loved and continue my dreams was something I'll never forget. And the reason why this place is what it is. So to have that here forever is probably the greatest honor of my baseball career, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.